the show, we're going to go through WWE 2K22's first official gameplay reveal. We finally got to see a match between Rey Mysterio and Damian Priest. Breaking down today, first overall impressions of what we saw. Let's get into it right now. Yeah, everybody, welcome back to Assemble. I'm Mac. Great to have you here on the show. Let's get into this. We finally got some gameplay. I'm excited. It was a good reveal. Overall impressions, I thought this showed a lot. This showed a lot to fans out there. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on how this match and what you saw. Did it do enough for you? I want to first talk about graphics and overall camera angles and lighting, because that's what stood out to me first. That's what struck me as being completely different from previous games. Based off of the gameplay we saw, I am very, very impressed with the close-up camera angle. I like that the camera is actually following your superstar around much more closely, and it's not pulling back further away like we've seen in previous games, like when you go to the top rope or just performing any of your moves. It's tighter, it's brought into the actual action. It's gonna make for really, really great moments where you feel like you're really, really close to what's going on. I thought the camera angles did a really good job of actually kind of progressing the match and highlighting key spots and key moments when you are pulling off signatures or breakers or reversals in the game. When Rey Mysterio goes to the top rope to perform a move and jumps off, it's tight and close to the action. When he does a moonsault, you can see the difference between what they would normally show in like a 2K20 where it's pulled back further away. They get actually very close to the action, even for moments where they're trying to go for the pin. I thought did a really good job. There's a sense of urgency there that I really liked. There was a moment in the gameplay that we saw where Rey Mysterio performs a move and he actually tries to get to cover as quickly as possible. I really liked how he did that. I think that those little touches for superstars really add just more drama, more intensity to a match. So hopefully we can see that with more stars. In the beginning of the actual ringside report that they did, they showed us a lot of different stars, from Rey to Cesaro, The Rock, even glimpses of AJ Styles. But what looked really good to me was going to be all the dynamic lighting that they did talk about in the game. That does make a huge difference when you can add on all of those lighting and shadow effects, because it's going to make it look more realistic. And like they even said here, the devs did say that it is going to give some of those superstars looking like very photorealistic. That has me excited, has me a little bit concerned though, because not all superstars are going to look this good. Your custom created superstar may or may not look that good, and some of the renders may not turn out to look spectacular. It kind of is what it is. But I thought for what they showed here for lighting, the dynamic lighting, the shadowing, some of the entrance motions, the sweat that is coming off of some of the superstars, which is a weird thing to talk about, to get hyped about sweat. But I thought like even you saw in Cesaro and The Rock, you saw moments where like all of that sweat is pouring off of them. And again, that's a lot to do with just the lighting dynamics in the game. So I thought that turned out really, really good. We can also confirm that the Thunderdome is in the game, because we saw Rey Mysterio do his entrance and you could see all of the LED boards where they've taken like actual fans, I guess, and they've captured all of that, and now you have that in the game. That's going to make it really fun when we look at something like create an arena and creating your custom arenas where we could do LED boards all the way around. I really want to see what they can do with that. But sticking on graphics and overall impressions there, guys, I thought lighting looked good. I thought the close-up camera angles really worked for me. It looks different in that regard, and that has me excited because it doesn't feel like you're getting the same game that we've had and had to deal with like 2K20. There's a lot of key things that they did talk about in this whole breakdown. Some of them being that we talked about the revamped HUD, where there are no reversal limits put in there. They got rid of that, and they did mention there that by removing it, it changes up the gameplay entirely. And the devs even said that, you know, in years past, when you have a reversal limit, kind of breaks it, because you can just wait until the other opponent has used up all the reversals, and then you just go for your finishers and the match is over. They've gotten away from that. They are taking cues from older wrestling games here, where there's a lot more button mashing going on. They did want to highlight this to everybody, that the revamped controls are very revamped. They are very new. I know the guys over at Vibe, when they got their early access hands-on with the game, they did mention about the going through the actual controller tutorials and needing to do that and recommend people do that. I can totally see that. We're going to do a separate episode talking about all of the revamped controls and our thoughts on it. But I like the revamped HUD. I like that you got the superstar's name, you've got the vitality meter, which is your health bar, You have your special meter, which is going to be allowing you to do your signatures as well as doing like paybacks, things like that. And then you have your finishers. You can store up to 3 finishers all at once, which should be good because then in custom matches, if we want to change match rules, then we could actually do a maximum of 3 finishers to even start off a match. Some of the footage they also showed was highlighting the Rey Mysterio showcase mode. They only gave us a little glimpse of this here, but it looks really good because they are really focusing on the dynamic lighting that they can leverage to highlight key moments. They showed off a little moment between Kane and Rey Mysterio. I was blown away, and then they showed a later clip of Eddie versus Rey, and again, I was blown away by how this looked, and they transitioned from the gameplay to the actual match itself and how it's like moment to moment. I really liked how this looked. Like when you look at it just at a glance, it was really hard to tell the difference between the video game versus the actual match from WWE. They had the different crowds from that generation, which is really cool because you could see things like DX and RKO t-shirts in the audience. They really captured those moments in Showcase. I'm excited about that to see how good that actually looks. With the controls themselves, this was a big thing that they highlighted here today. I'm a little hesitant and I'm a little nervous to see how this is going to play out. There's a lot going on. You're button mashing like A on your controller to actually like break up a pin, which I like. I like to do that much more than doing the meter that we have had in years past because I find that just trips me up so much. I don't think it's very accurate. So I like that we're actually button mashing in that regard. But there is a lot to unpack for controls and the control scheme. Grapple, B button on your controller or circle on PlayStation is going to be very prominent to actually then get into doing light attacks, heavy attacks, combos. There's going to be a lot to do when it comes to the controls. I'm definitely doing the tutorial because I won't have a clue what to do. But because they have gotten away from just clicking for a reversal to be able to counter the move, there's more things to do with dodging, with countering the move, countering a signature, and it's really going to be about making sure that you're reacting the right way and you are doing the right button combinations too. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out for people. You guys let me know in the comments below. But my overall impressions, I thought this was good. I think it's a great start for 2K. It sounds like we are going to be getting more of these updates as we go, as we lead into the launch. IGN is doing their whole coverage, and WWE 2K22 is going to be one of those things later in February. So we should be seeing a little bit more from that. I hope that they are going to start doing these on a weekly basis leading up to launch. But let me know, guys. Please let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this gameplay trailer reveal. Did it do enough for you to get excited about the game? There's still more to unpack, so stay tuned because I've got more episodes coming at you, going more in depth on things like my rise, because Shawn Michaels was in there, and then we've got the controls that I really want to deep dive and a few other things, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next episode.